Good morning, Sun City residents. This is Rusty Bradshaw, and I'm here to give you some highlights from the Recreation Centers of Sun City Member Board Exchange meeting that happened just a little while ago. And first of all, on the beginning of the meeting, they talked about a meeting coming up that's going to be of some importance to residents as the Triarch, the architects on the Mountain View renovation project, will make a presentation from 5 to 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, March 18th at Sundial Center, 14801 North 103rd Avenue. And the agenda will include the presentation by the architects, and then there will be a question and answer session. RCSC board member Chris Nettesheim said the board has seen a preliminary presentation, but wanted to see most of the presentation during the March 18th meeting, and they will not make any decisions until after they've heard from members during the question and answer session. There will also be a detailed booklet available the day after the presentation. There was going to be a soft cover posted on the RCSC website, and there will be hard copies at different locations. They're also going to be making announcements in a number of different ways to the community through emails, during events, and so on and so forth, to try and get as many members as possible to this meeting on Tuesday, March 18th, to hear about Sundial renovation project. As to the member exchange meeting itself, they went through the list of topics from previous meetings, and in regards to the disc golf at Quail Run, the board acted on a motion in a first reading on February 27th, saying there will not be disc golf allowed on any RCSC golf courses. And there was also a motion, some concerns about a master plan for RCSC properties. During the February 27th meeting, the board, again, on a first reading, passed a motion that the Long Range Planning Committee will be working on a long-range plan. And there was also a concern about why can't a snowbird run for the board. And the current bylaws prohibit prohibit that, but legal counsel has given the opinion that non-Maricopa County residents can run for the board, but the bylaws need to be amended. Now, in regards to those first two motions, they still need to go through a second reading before they're completely passed. That second reading will take place at the board's next regular meeting on March 27th, March 27th, 9 a.m. at Sundial. Members were concerned that outside organizations were getting priority over members, and the board said that is not correct. Although at today's exchange meeting, the one gentleman kept saying that outside organizations are getting priority in some cases. Some members were concerned that the budget is confusing, and this has been referred to management and the Finance and Budget Committee, and they'll work on trying to make it less confusing. In my experience covering city councils, school boards, even RCSC for many years, budgets are never going to be non-confusing to lay people. They're difficult to decipher. Even though I've covered so many of them over the years, it's still something that I don't understand. Okay, and let's see. Members still want the Performing Arts Center to be at Sundial, but I don't think that's the direction that it's going to go. That facility is so heavily used, to change it in any way would be a problem. Plus, it would be overused if it was there. And that is the opinion of the board. Members also suggested that board members and management get out more and visit with members, and they are working on that. It was asked what is being done to improve safety and security at the Grand Center. They're working on a badge entrance system, and a fence was also installed, and a gate is locked at night. Although board member Anita Borski said if you're at the Grand Center later in the day, you should be careful because the center closes at 4:30, and she was at the foundation office and almost got locked in when the gate was going to be closed. So just be aware, the gate closes at 4:30, so be out of Grand. It was asked how many positions were added in 2024, and the answer was 16 positions were added in 2024, and another 5 were added for the 2025 year. And let's see. That is pretty much all of the past topics of significance that were reviewed. Now on to other discussion at the exchange meeting. Jean Totten had circulated petitions to request the board fire the general manager. She said that she didn't know how many second chances he should be allowed. And Tom Foster, the board president, said it's not that the board has not been idle in this regard, and they have taken action with performance reviews for the general manager, and that will continue. David Clausen thanked the board and management for its work, and he believes they are headed in the right direction. John Fast, who filed a lawsuit against RCSC because they pulled the motions from the annual membership meeting tomorrow, he mentioned that it's just a matter of reading the same document differently between himself and the corporate attorney. And he believes that the attorney's opinion should be made available to members, both the opinion on the annual meeting motions and the opinions on the motions themselves. Bear with me while I go through my notes. There were quite a few comments. Brenda Frank mentioned that there were some serious concerns about some of the annual meeting motions and the unintended consequences they would bring, and she hopes that there could be a bylaw done that would allow for more time between the submission of motions for the annual meeting and the meeting itself, so those motions could be reviewed to determine whether there were problems and enough time given to find solutions for them. Claudia Wilson expressed the opinion that many people believe the board will do whatever it wants, and that is why some don't come to meetings or participate in other ways. There was quite a discussion at the last meeting about apathy, and Tom Foster mentioned that discussion centered mostly around the fact that only 1,200 people voted in the last board election. Steve Collins mentioned that changes have been made in terms of the clubs and organizations meeting or committee, and one of those changes is now they're having meetings in which all clubs are invited to discuss concerns and so forth. And a lot of the Board Policy 12, which deals with clubs, a lot of the BP 12 changes that were made last year came from members during those meetings. And I'm going to return a little bit to the annual meeting and the motions, because toward the end of the meeting, Tom Foster explained what was said about the motions, because Bill Pearson talked about how the corporate attorney said the members were not allowed to vote and they were not allowed to make motions. Tom Foster said that was not what was said. He said the attorney claimed that to use a vague term, all motions were not ready for prime time, and that they needed more vetting. And the attorney's recommendation was that the motions be pushed back to the board so they could look them over. Mr. Foster went on to say that no one said the members couldn't vote or present motions, and that it was just a matter of timing. And remember, the annual meeting of the members is scheduled for tomorrow, beginning at 6 p.m. at Sundial. That's March 11th, 6 p.m. at Sundial. The agenda will consist of explaining the situation with the motions, and members will have the opportunity to speak at the annual meeting as long as there is a quorum. The quorum is now set at 500. That's it for the exchange meeting, and thank you for watching.